Welcome to the Fandemic. This is a podcast that celebrates all the things that we feel are awesome in hopes of spreading our fandom to you. We do several different types of episodes because I don't talk good today. In alone,
Words are hard.
words are very hard today. I've been screwing up all day, but it's my day off, so I guess that's okay. In a Lone Star, I go through the best bad reviews I can find based on title alone. In Revenge of the Nerd episodes, we tell the stories that could have happened before and after your favorite movies, TV shows, and so much more. And in the Fandemic, we look at the supporting cast of properties we adore, tribute our favorite actors, movies, or if it's been a while, we just catch up on everything and so much more. I have interesting conversations with amazing people monthly. I'm the proclaimed Emperor of Awesome, Bradley Butin, and with me, I have none other than the unverified twin of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the eyebrows, the unverified twin of Dave Bautista in the head wrinkles, and the unverified twin
However,
of Shamar Moore.
I am going to get the blue check mark because these need verified. Go ahead, sir. Let them know. Let them know.
In the nipples. Yes. I sounded like a Dalek from Doctor Who right there.
we
exterminate.
We call them love medallions, but keep it going,
the
sir.
Love medallion. I wish I had some music I could have played.
That's going to be a new bumper. I can see that now. It's going to be a new. It's going to be a new medallions. Yes, sir.
Right. Get some like bounce, 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 bounce.
There it is. Yeah, this show already wasn't alienating the kiddies. Yeah.
Yes, we are digging deep into the box underneath your parents' bed.
Slowly opening it, though. We slowly open it. Yes, sir.
Let's hit that music. Brian, what are we talking about today?
We are doing the opposite of the Drake song. We are not starting from the bottom and now we're here. Oh, no. We're not going for the A+. Because, at Revenge of the Nerds, no. We live in a world of lowered expectations. So what we're going to talk about this week are our favorite B-list superheroes from television, comics, video games, what have you. But not the tops, but the secondary folks. Because you know what? Here at the Fandemic, we like to say a B is good enough.
Yes. I mean, they put the letter D in degree for a reason. It's true.
That's deep.
It is.
That's really deep.
Yeah, I know it, right?
It really is. I mean, that's so deep. I think got on your shoes there, man. But yeah, we're right there. We're right there with you, brother.
Yeah, dude, I used to study that rubric and be like, okay, I don't need to do this. I don't need to do this. I just need to know this really good.
You know what? As a teacher, it's love to know that, hey, I did all this hard work. He's going to figure out I need to do just enough to pass.
Yeah.
Just enough to pass. So if any of my students are listening, don't do what Brad does.
That's right. Yes. Don't take my advice.
No. But the beard would be cool though. You can definitely mimic the beard. You can definitely mimic the beard, sir.
I always said like, okay, let me talk to them, and I'm okay. Let me use the gift of gab. Let me sell it.
Sure.
But if we're in those situations where that's not an issue, yeah, I'm in trouble.
So basically, like an online course, you couldn't do the people stuff. Not really your strength.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So, again, here at the Fandemic, we are the gift that keeps on giving, where B is just enough. And today we are talking about our favorite B+ players, our B favorite superstars, and we're going to knock it out. But before we get that, sir, can I finish my intro? Because you were rude and did not let me do the full intro.
I did.
So I'm going to do it myself. So first off, I am the unverified, but almost verified twin of Shamar Moore in the nipples. And my name is Brian S. Dennis, where the S stands for my new favorite character from Ahsoka, Enoch.
Yes, man. Oh, we're gonna get into Enoch.
I just want the mask. That's
Dude,
the
so
best
cool.
helmet.
It
That's the
reminds
best
me
helmet.
of that like the Greek gladiator, the gladiator
Sure.
one. Yeah, you know
Yeah.
the dude who had the guy that was fighting Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
reminds me of that. So good.
Absolutely. Or like when you would get like the if you remember GoBots.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Oh,
if you couldn't afford Transformers,
right.
you got GoBots, and the GoBot face really didn't emote as well as like the actual Hasbro like Transformers. So every GoBot was basically this.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of Enoch. So as someone that again, my parents were cheap, so I bought myself Transformers. They bought me GoBots.
You right?
So right, that whole deal. It's also the same thing. I think I might share this before. Everybody knows I love me some Batman. All I wanted to go for my 3rd grade Halloween party was Batman. My mother went to the store and saw how much at Walmart and saw how much a Batman costume was. She was not having it, so I got to go that year, Bradley, as Bat Cat.
The Bat Cat.
The Bat Cat.
And this is before Batman and Catwoman were a thing.
Yes. So you know who knows who Batcat is? No one knows who the hell Batcat is. But Batcat's not real. So the Batcat costume was basically a big, it almost like someone took like a Glad trash bag, those big black industrial trash bags, put in holes for the arms, a hole for the head, and then this horrible orange and black cat mask that is covered like this much of your face. And that's what I wore in, by the way, Georgia. Well, it's still 80 degrees in October, and that was my costume. I had to wear like actual clothes underneath it too. So every time I sat at my little desk, I heard different. I had to stand up. If anybody's ever cut weight for sports like wrestling or whatever, that's kind of what it was. Like I was hermetically sealed, and everything just kind of marinated throughout the day. So when I finally got home and I took it off, I wish I was making it up. I swear you heard this, like when you open up like the seal, I heard. And I had lost like 9 pounds. So yeah, so luckily Batcat was a one and done. But Batcat, unlike our list today, is not our favorite B-list character. See what I did there?
You brought it back. Well done.
I brought it back. Yes, sir.
You know, a steak pun is a rare, medium, well done.
And remember, here at Prevent of the Nerds and on the Fandemic, we believe that going through the back door is as good as the front.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
All right, sir. Let's kick it out the Wonder Eye movie and show of the week.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's definitely do that. Actually, before that, let's get it. I am not with it today, guys.
That's
I
okay.
don't. So Brian will probably be keeping me on track here.
That's all good. You want to do the honors?
Did you watch WWE?
Yes, I did watch WWE.
Yeah, let's talk about WWE for a minute first.
So first off, real quick before we get into like the weeds of it, WWE. First off, if anyone is a WWE fan, they did a lot of releases or layoffs.
Yeah.
So from the business side of wrestling, we get to the actual product on the show. Is that we got to unfortunately see that when 2 big companies merge, which is the UFC and the WWE are doing, a lot of people got laid off. So they laid off about 22 wrestlers, a lot from NXT that a lot of us aren't super familiar with. Then they had a couple of mid-range folks like Elias, who some of us know, but then 2 of my favorites were released as well. So one being Shelton Benjamin, one of my absolute favorite wrestlers.
Yeah.
If you ever want to see a really good professional wrestling match, just go to YouTube or the actual WD Network on Peacock and look for his match against Shawn Michaels. Fantastic match. And then I really hope winds up in AEW, because I think he'll be someone they'll push to the top really quickly. He will have to have a new name, because I'm sure it's trademarked by the WWE, but one Dolph Ziggler. So Dolph got released. I think his real name is Nick Nemeth, if I remember correctly. But I think we'll probably see both him and Shelton in AEW if they want to. Shelton's a little older, may decide, hey, this is a good time to hang it up. Shelton's got an amateur wrestling background, may see him as a trainer, but I really think hopefully we'll see Dolphins from AEW.
Yeah, and Shelton never got the huge push that he should have.
No.
He was always just that right under Kurt Angle. And yeah, man, I really hope that he signs the AEW, and I'm sure like a lot of, I don't know how long they have to wait before they can do that or what, but
Usually,
yeah,
usually they have a 90-day no complete clause, which means that it will again. This is the nerd in me.
yeah.
If they're going to pay them, they can have what they call a 90-day no compete clause, which means we release Brad today, but we're
Hmm.
going to pay him for another 90 days so he can't go work for another wrestling company. Some wrestlers don't get that either. They let their contracts actually expire.
Hmm.
But typically, what the WWE does is they give those folks a 90-day no compete clause, probably because they don't want them showing up, let's say, on AEW the next week,
Yeah.
going, hey, I'm here now. So to try and give, honestly, probably it's worth them paying folks, let it go 3 months, and hopefully maybe the audience forgets they were with WWE. So,
Yeah.
but
And
we'll probably
here's
maybe see around the first of the year. Hopefully, we'll see some of these folks.
here's the name that I think Dolph Ziggler should take when he goes to AEW. Are you
Okay.
ready for this?
Yes.
Mr. Perfect.
Mm.
He has always been like, I mean, he reminds me of Mr. Perfect so much.
I used to say that his ring style, his character, all those things, where Shawn Michaels and Mr. Perfect had a baby.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
there's so
yeah.
many of those things, from the super kick, the suplexes, all those things. As far as things we saw in the ring, the big thing, especially since we're recording atypically on a Wednesday, I just go over Monday Night Raw really quickly.
Mhm.
So Monday Night Raw, we're seeing more and more the push of using the Judgment Day is really kind of the focal point of that show. So we got to see Dominant Mysterio, we got to see Finn Balor and Damian Priest in the ring. We got to see a lot of Cody Rhodes. We got to see one of my favorites, main event Jay Uso, doing a lot of things. They brought in a lot of Drew McIntyre. If anyone is a fan of one Matt Riddle, he was released. So how the
Yeah.
WWE does a lot of things, they just pretend you don't exist. So literally 2 weeks ago, Matt Riddle and Drew McIntyre were a tag team trying to win the titles, and this week Drew's just hanging out there with his sword.
Yep.
Yep, and then
Because there could be
before
only one.
there can be only one. Seriously, if they ever redo Highlander, they might just want to have Judas in the background. I don't know if he can act,
I
but
mean,
you can
he's
just
got to
put him
be a
like
cameo.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
and
got
there,
to put him in a
so Henry
cameo.
Cavill is going to be the new Connor McLeod, and
Oh,
this is
okay. That
happening.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
this is
This will
happening.
make sense.
But yeah, Drew McIntyre has to do a cameo.
So I wonder. Then this is me fan casting far too much. I used to think, well, maybe if you have too many
Kurgan.
quick, if you have too many quickenings, maybe what happens is instead of you being an immortal, you become the god of thunder with Christopher Lambert. I was like, maybe that's what happened. He got one
Yeah.
too many. By the way, Bradley, if you have too many quickenings, do you go blind? Just saying.
Yes.
Just saying. Maybe your palm gets a little hair. Okay, we're going to part two now. And then just really quickly, some really good matches. The Judgment Day defending against Sammy and Kevin Owens, really good match. The Chad Chancery
Hmm.
retained, and obviously, conspicuous by her absence was Rhea Ripley. Hopefully, she will be back on television. There's actually a pay per view for NXT this Saturday, so I'm sure I'll probably check that out
No
and give a quick
mercy.
and what they're doing is they're taking a lot of those old WWE and WCW pay per views and really just bringing them down to NXT.
Hmm.
So that'll be interesting. Of course, the headliners are going to see Becky Lynch
Yeah.
defending, and my guess dropping the title to Tiffany Stratton and a couple other things. So it'll be good to
Mhm.
see some of those folks we probably will be seeing on Raw and SmackDown. Some maybe by the end of the year, but definitely when we fast forward to right after WrestleMania. So that's my brief wrestling report. And remember, it's real. It's damn real. All right.
Yes. What do you got? Let's talk about TV and movies for a minute here.
I got you. Okay. So I'm going to start off with my show of the week. Now, while typically I wouldn't say Ahsoka is my show of the week, again, because we are recording on a
Mhm.
Wednesday versus our regular Sunday, this was really tough. I watched the most recent episode of Ahsoka,
Mhm.
really good. But for the first time in a few weeks, Ahsoka is not going to be my show of the week. My
Okay.
show of the week is going to be Welcome to the Continental. I don't know if you got a chance to watch it.
Mhm.
I personally think, and further, calling it a show is really a misnomer. It is a 90-minute show, so it's a movie.
Yeah.
It's basically taken, and it's only in 3 parts, so much more like a movie than a series that we see like on Disney and other streaming apps. But I did get to check out Welcome to the Continental and really see kind of the prequel of how Winston comes to his position, and gotta give Peacock and Paramount and all these streaming networks revitalizing some people's careers, because Mel Gibson was number one. We didn't get too much Mel. I was worried it's going to be all about Mel, and it wasn't. But it gave us just enough Mel Gibson, and he plays just creepy enough to make a really good villain as we're moving forward in the series.
Nice. Yeah, I have actually not watched it yet, and I'll explain that when I do mine,
All
my
right.
stuff here.
And then my move of the week, then we'll move forward, is A Million Miles Away, which is streaming on Amazon. It's actually the true story of Jose M. Hernandez, who was the first migrant seasonal farm worker to go off and become an astronaut. So he's played by Michael Pena. If you're not sure, if you don't know Michael Pena, he's one of Ant-Man's co-stars in that series. He's the guy that drives the van. And I'm just like, I'm the boss, I'm the boss, I'm the boss.
He's the guy that we want to recap every Marvel movie.
Yes, here's my, if I'm gonna pitch a show real quick, here's what I want. I want the show, I want the Wong Madison, with the Y, not where you think it is. I want their show, but I want to be narrated by Michael Pena's character for Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's what I want. That was Ant-Man and Ant-Man and Wasp and the Quantumania. It wasn't bad, but was missing was his cohorts, especially Michael Pena's character. So that's what I want. Give me him narrating pretty much every. If Morgan Freeman can't narrate my life story, I want to be Michael Pena's character.
We're only a week away from Loki. Loki's next Monday.
Very exciting.
So
yes,
we're less than a week away.
And we're 2 days away from Generation V.
That's right. Ooh, I gotta remember that.
Bro, because we're now officially hitting fall, so we're getting a lot of those new shows. So Generation V looks really good, and of course, Loki looks amazing.
Yes. All right. So you got the movie. Any other thing you want to give a shout out to?
Actually, this one's been kind of chill, really busy at work, so I think that's going to cover my shout out. So what about you, sir? What do you got for me?
All right. So my TV show is absolutely no surprise. Ahsoka.
Okay, real quick on Ahsoka. So, okay, spoiler alert, right?
Yeah.
But so they gave us Ezra. They gave us a little peek last week. And they gave us this one. Is it me, or is he Jedi Jesus?
You know, that's kind of the vibe I was getting too. And then in this episode, you know, I was like, oh, dude, I want him to have the lightsaber. But then when he was like, no, the Force is my ally, I was like, dude, you're a freaking Jedi Master.
Right. And I gotta say, you know, He Young is my favorite droid of all time. But we did get a C3.
That was awesome.
That was awesome, especially when the other droids are like, "Wait, what do you mean mere droids? What are you talking about? Like, you know, catch these hands." I was like, I dig it. Go ahead, sir.
And Princess Leia saves the day.
Right, and of course we got via hologram. We got some more Anakin.
Yeah.
So again, they're weaving so much into the canon with this. And it's going extremely well. But again, Jedi, as I'm now going to call Ezra Jedi Jesus, because
JJ.
JJ, I'm not going to do that. I would not do that. But yes. So please tell us your thoughts on Ahsoka.
Man, it's so good. I am excited to see what next week's gonna, or because next week is the last
finale, right? The season finale, right? Yep.
And dude, the story's been great.
Yes,
they got a lot to put together, and I don't think this is going to end where everybody wants it to end. I think we're going to have a Empire Strikes Back ending. I think that Thrawn is going to get some.
Oh, good. Yes. Because it will be. They don't have time to make it a happy ending, if you will.
Right.
And we also have our first cameo. Hi, Princess.
Yeah, she went home from school sick today.
Oh no!
So you want to say hi to Brian? Into the mic, kid.
Hey, Princess.
Ow. Say hi.
You're not good at putting headphones on.
Okay, I'm not.
Hi.
And the microphone is right here.
How are you?
This might sound really weird, but I just learned how to breathe through my nose again.
That does not sound weird because I've been there. So, absolutely. So, you know, you should rest up so you feel better, but get to see your Princess Leia.
Yeah.
All right. Can I get a bye-bye?
I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay. Continue.
Okay.
She's got to
Yeah.
get you
All
sick.
right. Give me
don't
that
get your
go
dad.
rest.
Yeah, say her bye-bye and don't get your
I
dad
can-
sick. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Bye bye.
How bye-bye?
Oh, I need that. Yeah. Go rest, kid.
Hey.
All right. Yeah. Go rest.
Hey.
Bro, was you
Yeah.
like leaving with your headphones? I'm just like, dude, you got to leave those, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
was
by the
like,
way,
you
and by the way, she sounds sick. You might want to Lysol that mic a little bit, bud, so you're not sick here in like 2 days. Yeah.
well, she just bit me, so I mean, like, if
Yeah,
it's
this one is
rabies, I'm
over.
screwed.
Yeah.
I'm a vampire from Twilight. Goodbye.
I was thinking
Oh
this is how
gosh.
I was thinking this is how The Last of Us started.
Well, I think I'm okay. She says she's a vampire from Twilight, so
Oh, you're finding what?
I'm-
Ooh, your
we're okay.
shimmer. Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, so
Yeah.
threatening. You know what? Similar to like I tried because I couldn't get into it the first round, so I tried revisiting Vampire Diaries, and I was like, no, just
Yeah. So
no.
I liked the originals.
The originals is much better. Vampire
Yeah.
Diaries is like if you took away any type of possible cursing from Twilight. Yeah, it's just like yeah. But thank you for Nina Dobrev. I will say thank you for that.
Oh, honey, that one's not plugged in. All right, cool. So after Ahsoka, well, actually, I wasn't done talking about Ahsoka, I guess. Man, we got Mon Mothma, and
Yes.
that stupid senator. I hate him. I can't think of his name right now. That dude,
Ziani. I think it's pronounced Ziani. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like he's up to something. I don't know what.
Of course.
Maybe he's secretly working to bring Thrawn back or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, man.
I love Thrawn because Thrawn strikes you like that drunk uncle at every family reunion that no one wants to be around him because he's going to tell you about when he was young. But because I like that they're giving us a villain that his actual power is just evil. He's not a Sith. He's not all these things. He's just honestly just a jerk.
Yeah,
which I kind of like, and obviously having such a female-led story, both from the protagonist and the antagonist side of it, and dude, the witches just giving the creeps. They really give it in a great way. They really giving the creeps.
And
like that's what we need. That's what we need at the end of Game of Thrones. We needed 3 evil witches. That's what we needed.
Man, like in Balin's skull, Ray.
Right.
Dude, so good.
Yes.
I mean, I was thinking at that time on that planet,
dude.
right? Man, there was Ezra, Ahsoka, Sabine, Balin, and Shin. There were 5 Jedi, or the non-Sith.
Right.
Man, like I was sitting here, I'm like, are we gonna get a team up? Are they gonna switch sides? Are we gonna like?
Yeah.
I was waiting for Balin to come after there and save the day.
Yes.
I thought it was gonna happen.
Yes. I mean, it's again, they've done it well. The fight between the fights, the choreography, it is beautifully shot. It is well done. And again, different from Andor. I've heard people go, we all didn't like Andor because there wasn't wall-to-wall fighting on the time. No, this has a slow build to it. Well, you can slow build something and it'd be interesting, or it can put you to sleep. This has a slower build, but it's still really interesting versus Andor. I was asleep every episode. I was about 15 minutes in. So.
Right. Because we love Andor on the Fandemic. Awesome.
Sorry. I was my Andor. Sorry.
You're good. And the reason why I have not watched the Continental is because of the game Baldur's Gate 3.
I was gonna ask you BG3. Tell me about it, sir.
Man, it's D&D in video game form, dude. It is so much fun. Man, I've restarted it 3 times. It's so fantastic, man. Yeah, dude, so good. Anyway, get it, like it. It's awesome. All I'll say about that, because I do have some thoughts about my movie of the week.
All right, what's your movie of the week, sir?
My movie of the week is Expendables.
How was the Expendables?
Okay. The action was awesome.
They're old.
They're
really, really old.
And Jason Statham took main stage in this.
Good,
Tony
because I was
Jaa
going to go. A lot of those folks are legitimately in their 70s. They're old. Okay, please go ahead.
Here's what I'll say. Action is great.
Okay.
The gunplay was amazing. The explosions were great. I
Good.
saw the twist 2 seconds after it. After it happened, something happens. I'm like, "Yep, that's not gonna keep going." I called it right away. It happened. This is a horrible movie, but I want to see
Okay.
it again.
Okay. Well, okay. No
Yeah,
one goes to Expendables. Okay, the Expendables, Fast and the Furious, Transporter. There's some
John Wick.
movies. I'll give Wickman a little. Okay, four. It was tough. Okay, but for the most part, a lot of those movies you watch for things going boom, right?
Mhm.
And you can almost enjoy the tongue in cheek and do it for the ride. So no one watches the Expendables or the Spinfables for the great. First of all, none of these folks were known for their thespian abilities
Right.
before this set of movies, right? But it's nostalgia. You get a bunch of 80s, 90s, maybe some early 2000s action stars still doing what they do, and it's kind of good to reminisce. So it can be a horrible movie, and like I said, you'll still want to see it again. Earlier in this recording, you talked about being the best of the worst, what have you. I think here's the best example of this. I remember back in the 90s where the Razzie Award for worst movie went to Con Air. I still love me some Con Air.
Yeah.
It is a paint by numbers plot. You can poke holes in it up, right, down, and around. The ludicrousness of especially that last bit once they get to Vegas.
Yeah.
And you know what? And that horrible, as a true Southerner, Nick Cage's horrible Southern accent,
Yeah.
with his little girl and all the things. The best part is Cyrus the damn virus because him and Buscemi, Steve Buscemi and John Malkovich are the only redeeming parts of that movie, and I still want to see it over and over and over again. So something can be horrible and you still just love it. So good for the Expendables.
Right, right. Awesome. All right. Well, with that being said,
Yes,
let's
sir.
talk a little bit about a tat. You got a tat for the night.
I got a tat. So I got a couple, three of them. We'll see how many we'll get through for time. So here's my Bradley Button. Would you rather? So who would you pick?
Okay.
So I'm gonna start off with the canine world because I'm a dog lover. So
Yeah.
let's do it here. So you've got Scooby Doo
Rubro.
and you've got
Ooh-doo-doo.
yes sir, and you got Marmaduke.
Okay.
And you got to be on pooper scooper duty for one of them.
Okay.
Who are you preferring to do the pooper scooper duty for? Marmaduke or Scooby Dooby Doo, and why?
Scooby Doo Doo. Why? Is because I'm going to be partaking in the Scooby snacks.
Facts. 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 Okay. This is a shot at anyone who's a true Scooby Doo fan because we know the inside wink, wink, nudge, nudge when it comes to the Scooby snack. Okay. I love people go,
Yeah.
oh, they're dog biscuits. No,
No.
no, they're not.
Are you paying attention? They're
no other
dog
reason-
biscuits for people under 14.
Yes, and no other reason than if you've ever watched either of the live, especially the first one with Linda Cardellini and that group in it, it was quite obvious like, okay, the Scooby snack, and I was the whole idea of, there's a reason why Fred always want to hang out with Daphne.
Yeah.
Now, me personally, I'd have picked Velma, but that's just me. All right, so I co-sign your Scooby Dooby Doo with the Scooby snack. Not to mention, if Scooby eats some Scooby snacks, there may be some discharge when the poop. All right, so now here's a dance battle. So a dance crew battle.
Dance crew. Okay.
Yes. So we've got on one side the true Blue Man Group, the Smurfs, going against those with the long, curved, hard antennae, the Snorks. Who are you picking in a dance battle?
The
Snorks
Smurfs.
versus Smurfs. Really?
I'm gonna pick the Smurfs because they're little enough. It'll be easier not to pay attention.
Gotcha. Now, I would personally go with the Snorks. I think there's more coordination. You look at the entrance, like the theme song and all that, versus the Smurfs that kind of go around in a circle.
Is Katy Perry Smurfette?
Katy Perry will always be.
Okay. Well,
Smurfette. I can't imagine a world in which Katy Perry is not Smurfette.
Okay. All right. Well, that may change things around a little bit or make things weird. One of the two.
The only thing that would make Katy Perry better as Smurfette was if they had another Smurfette. Because remember, she kissed a girl.
And she liked it.
And she liked it. All right. And then last but least, by the way, remember Katy Perry started off her career as a Christian artist. That had to be a real interesting Bible study. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay. Maybe you should go do something else. Okay. And then last but not least, which one of these acts, either Josie and the Pussycats or Jim and a hologram, because remember, Jim is her name. Jim. Other than both of their movies were horrible, which one of these is most likely to have their Grammy speech interrupted by Kanye West? Josie and the Pussycats or Jim the Hologram? Who's more likely to hear no disrespect while he actively disrespects them?
Okay, I'm gonna have to go with Josie and the Pussycats because because I think Jem would be rocking too hard, and they
Okay.
wouldn't even. Somebody starts coming up, and they're just gonna shut that shit down.
Fair.
So yeah,
That makes perfect sense to me. I got to give you that one. And then let's also remember that when you talk Josie and the Pussycats, you may have to talk Tara Reid, which might be a little bit uncomfortable. A little
Yeah.
bit uncomfortable there. All right, cool beans. So those are my tasks. Well, since we're in this area, would you like our honest ad before we do our countdown?
yeah, let's do it, man.
All right, we'll keep it over here. So normally I tell you what my honest ad is going to be, but instead of that, I'm just going to dive into my honest ad, and we will let the chips fall where they're made. So here's Brian Dennis's weekly honest ad. When the weather gets chilly and you're feeling kind of silly, don't let the cold get you down. Turn that frown upside down. Break out the hoodie, sweatshirts, jeans, and fall holidays. It's time to enjoy a pumpkin spice latte. Never mind how extra this drink makes you seem. Take a big gulp of that spotted whipped cream. Spend your money on an overpriced drink. All that matters is what Amber and Taryn think. At the end of the day, you only have one life, let's face it. You might as well ruin it by being so damn basic. The honest ad for pumpkin spice latte.
That is fantastic. That is great
And
and
scene.
100% accurate.
Especially for Amber and Taryn.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh.
All right, let's do our countdown, my friend. Talk about these.
All right,
B-lists.
let's talk some superhero stuff.
Yes, sir.
Would you like to go first or
I'll definitely go first. I know you said you didn't have as much prep time, so we'll give it. I've got a few honorable mentions, and then I'll give you my list. Now, here's the deal with my list, especially with my top 5. As I thought about it, these were to be like a live action movie, a show. Who would I want them to play on? But here's my first honorable mention. So one, the B list, not only favorite B list folks I would love to see actually get some run on Max, on Disney Plus, in the theaters. Give them some love. So number one on that group is going to be Green Lantern, but the Alan Scott Green Lantern. I think that is one that we really need. Again, I love me some JSA, and I love to see Alan Scott, and I love the way they revamped the character after the crisis. They gave him one eye, they made him gay, they did all these things to really deepen his character. And it's kind of like the fact that he's got to go, hey, what's your weakness? Wood. I just think that's great. I've always thought this would be a great one.
Man's weakness is wood.
I really hoped you wouldn't have went there, but you did. That's okay. All right. So then next up, we've got on the heels of She-Hulk, a character I really hope we would see in She-Hulk. We didn't. So maybe in season 2, but I really love the fact that I want you to give us Doc Samson. I think that would be great.
Yes.
Even though he was in Legends of Tomorrow, I really want an origin story of Firestorm, but with the Ronnie Raymond version of that.
You're a big Firestorm fan.
Man. I love me some Firestorm. I love me some Firestorm.
You know what? I wish I would have put him on my list, but that's fine.
So I think Firestorm is great. We got pieces of him, especially he was mentioned briefly in the whole New Mutants movie, but I really want Mr. Sinister. I really want Mr.
Dude,
Sinister.
Mr. Sinister would be so
They
good.
did such a good job with the High Evolutionary. I think I would love to give us Mr. Sinister.
Yeah, man. And he's ripe for the picking. He'd be a
Yes.
great TV villain.
And I
Give
was
us
thinking,
X-Men. Give us some X-Men.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
and this one I was thinking of the one that I was thinking Jeremy Irons would be a great Mr. Sinister.
Oh,
That cold, calculating voice.
dude, Benedict Cumberbatch, if he wasn't Doctor Strange, would have made a good one as well.
Yes. But give me a Mr. Sinister versus Doctor Strange. And then lastly, for my honorable mentions, just because I think this would be a great, almost because we don't see, because Marvel, other than really the last few Thor movies, Marvel and a little bit of Ant-Man, Marvel doesn't really delve into comedy that much.
Mhm.
I think a great comedy show, well, not Marvel, sorry, DC. I would love to see DC as a comedy series. Give us Wendy and Marvin from the old Super Friends show. I would love Wendy and Marvin.
That is a pull. That'd be great,
That's
man.
way back in the day, right? I'll pull Technicolor. I'll pull from the 70s on that one.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, there's like Thundar the Barbarian, you know?
Dude. I used to fan cast Thundar versus Luke. So which of the Sun Sword versus the lightsaber, who's winning? And it was always Thundar, because Thundar had, I thought, cooler looking friends. By the way, Thundar is such a ripoff of Conan the Barbarian and Star Wars. It's not even it's not even funny. It's not even funny.
It should be there should be a Thundar in live action in today's world.
Yes. Yeah. And somehow,
as a matter of fact, dude, that's gonna be an episode. We're doing that next
Thundar?
week.
Yes.
We're gonna prevenge Thundar.
I want Thundar meets Flash Gordon. Gotta still like the overacting would be phenomenal. All right. So here's my top 5 for you, sir. And again, these are ones I actually did think about who will play them and why. So number 1, or the number 5, I should say, this thing was the easiest one because I felt this character was so great in Black Adam, and unfortunately, the way that plot worked out, we won't see him in the future. So give me a prequel. So I want the origin story of Dr. Fate and give us Pierce Brosnan. I think that would be a movie that would be fantastic to see. Next up, I want Lobo. And Lobo should be played by none other than Benicio del Toro.
Dude, I still think that Lobo should be Jason Momoa, man.
Actually, you know what? Thinking about that more, I think you can play it. I could think either one, but yeah, Momoa would be really good. Momoa, basically, you don't even need makeup. Just he's there.
Some red contacts, you're there.
He's pretty much there. Again, and this is one that we obviously may see. Of all the ones on here, this is one we probably will see. I wanted them to expand upon the Mockingbird character with Linda Cardellini, because our Cardellini. And then my last 2 is I want Swamp Thing. And I was thinking, who could do Swamp Thing? Now, Swamp Thing, due to all the special effects, that's going to be your computer. But Swamp Thing that we need cast is that voice. I thought, who has that voice, that powerful, also that we don't see really represented that much right now in DC or Marvel?
Yeah.
And it came down to me, Giancarlo Esposito.
Ooh,
yeah, just he could. And you could put him in. I mean, he looks kind of nerdy scientist to begin with, anyway. So you could honestly, he obviously play him in the flashback scenes, his human form, pre-accident, and then you give us Giancarlo Esposito, and that honestly, that entire side of you give us Swamp Thing, you give us Animal Man, that entire that eco warrior protecting the green. I think that would be a great. Again, who knows what James Gunn's goals are, but if you're gonna bring in a new show, maybe from the DC world, I think Swamp Thing could be done. I love the show in the late 80s, early 90s, Swamp Thing.
Yeah, USA.
I would love to see that. Yes, USA was great. And then lastly, we talked before about if you're really going to do anything with the Justice League, you should start by building the villains and start almost basically what Marvel did, when you start with really what made us think about this was a lot of who we think are A-list stars with Marvel were B-list comics. Iron Man, Captain America, Doctor Strange would probably be considered a C-list. Marvel was all about Spider-Man, the X-Men, namely Wolverine, and the Hulk. That was Marvel. So some Ant-Man was, again, C, maybe D-list. So now these folks, we really think about who are the Marvel, elite, that they started about because that's what they had to push.
Yeah.
Same deal here with DC. I'm Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. That's always going to be a thing. But I would love to see a movie featuring the New Gods, and we talked about this before. But I would really
Yeah.
want it to be, and this is going to be my ranking number one together: Mr. Miracle and Big Barda. And here's the casting: Mr. Miracle, Ryan Gosling, and then his real life wife slash partner, Eva Mendes as Big Barda.
I'm sold. I'm sold. And we're okay. We are very, very big fans of the New Gods here.
Yes.
So we'll be like, yes, we have talked. We have devoted episodes
Yes.
to New Gods and
Yes.
casting that. And
Yes.
I think you just hit it on the head.
Yes. So, and again, like I said before, if you're gonna give us them, then if you're gonna fully cast it, Darkseid should again be Dennis Haysbert. Just that gravitas voice,
Mhm.
and I think he just physically would look obviously how you would want Darkseid to look. So that's my
But do you think
that's my
anybody
favorite
would
list.
ever beat the Teen Titans Go Darkseid's voice, Weird Al Yankovic?
It would be tough. It would
Man,
be very, very
would that
tough.
happen?
It would be very, very tough.
I think my heart actually smiled. You know, it's like
I mean,
you
there's
can't,
something to be said that was such a ballsy move.
right?
Like, okay, you know, we're gonna do completely opposite way. Everyone, you think we're gonna go with Darkseid, because Darkseid really is, you know, and we've talked before about who had really that one of the things that we neither one of us huge Superman fans
Mhm.
is that because he is so powerful, it's hard to give him a villain that really threatens him. And one of
Yeah.
the few that can kind of match up with him is Darkseid. You got Doomsday, you got Darkseid,
Mhm.
you know, that's kind of it.
Yeah.
And so Darkseid is kind of that Omega level, Omega beams, that Omega level villain that you have there. So having that be really the boogeyman of the DC universe and having it voiced by Weird Al Yankovic, the guy that was afraid of Coolio, R.I.P., because of Amish in Paradise. This is the guy who was supposed to be the dude that at least could go toe to toe with Superman, the true God among gods in him. And then we got like, okay, it's gonna be Weird Al.
Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah, man. I mean, my opinion is the way that DC should be doing this is they should be setting up different universes that are together. Because
Sure.
that's the way the DC is set up. Man, you know how you could tell amazing stories from the New Gods perspective. You could have a whole universe of stories and just set in the lanterns, because you could go to Yellow
Yes.
Lanterns, you could do all that, you could go to Blackest Night, all that stuff.
Oh,
And then you have
100%.
your home, like, you know, where you could do a villain movie, a superhero movie, and then see how that whole thing accumulates to Justice League
Oh yeah.
versus the Legion of Doom, you know?
Sure.
I mean, and
It-
dude, can you imagine a 10 movies
Yes.
that it took to make
To get us
to
there.
all go into JL versus LOD?
Now the only thing is, if you're gonna do Legion of Doom, what I want the real old school base, like in the swamps,
Mhm.
the skull that rises out of the murky waters. You know, that's what I want. You know, and I want you to give me all the villains. Like, and that could begin probably what DC should probably do is
Yeah.
focus on the villains.
Oh yeah.
You know, give me Lex, give me Sinestro, give me
Yeah.
Solomon
Solomon
Grundy,
Grundy.
give me Bizarro.
Dude.
Give me, we just jumped in. Give me Cheetah. Give me all those people. Like, that's who we want. And or what Wonder Woman's giant, she could grow. She was Apache. Speaking of culturally insensitive, she was Apache Chief's villain. So Marvel, again, here's what you don't do. You don't give us Apache Chief. I'm thinking because James is gonna have some problematic tweets back in the day.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking
Yeah.
he probably will be aware of it. Do not give us that version of Apache Chief. Don't give us that version of Samurai. Don't give us the super ethnic friends. We don't want that. Okay.
Yeah.
Give us true characters. Give us a Native American character, but but just don't give us the guy who, even though he, is grew up in the US, he still spoke the stereotypical broken English. That was just, don't do that. So anyone
and we know you
don't
can,
do that.
because you gave us Peacemaker, arguably one of the greatest TV shows in the last several years,
Where
and you
he's-
made us care about Robert Patrick's White Dragon.
Now that is a testament to Robert Patrick more than
Right.
anything else.
I mean, you did the character, the garbage, so
Yes.
you know how to handle those type of
Yes,
characters.
yes, and this shows you again the power of comic books. So John Cena's been featured on it because I watch a lot. I watch wrestling and give a quick
Mm,
report. John Cena's been on the last few episodes of SmackDown. He's going to be in the next pay per view in a couple weeks. Fastlane. Um, there were people legitimately giving him love as Peacemaker. So
yeah,
so because he is John flipping Cena, he is Peacemaker. And I don't know what the timelines for season 2, but give us season 2 as quickly as you can. All right,
yeah.
sir. Give me your list. What is your fave B listers out there?
So for my list, I went to characters that I want to see in the movies, better in the comics,
Sure.
that I feel like they're due. These characters are due, and I got five, and I got five from wow, I really can't talk today. Five from Marvel and five from DC.
Let's hit it.
All right, I'm more of a DC guy, so I'm going to start with Marvel first, as like
Gotcha.
you did. And a lot of these, I'm not, we'll talk it out. We'll talk it
Okay.
out. So at number 5, this is from the X-Men part. There's a character who is deep in the Savage Lands, Kazar.
Yes.
Kazar from the
Yes.
man, you could tell, and that would even be a really cool way to introduce the X-Men. Maybe like something
Yes.
they're in the Savage Land,
Yes.
they're in Krakoa, they gotta come back to Earth,
Yes.
something like
Yes.
that, man.
Yes.
And Kazar's a cool freaking character, man. And he looks a lot like Thundar the Barbarian,
I was gonna say that. That's exactly where my head went.
right? So after Kazar, one of my favorite, okay, like everybody knows I'm more of an X-Men fan than the other side. So but still on the X-Men, but X-Men side, I had to go with Magic. Dude, she kicks a ton of ass. And that
And was
sword
underserved in the New Mutants.
go,
Underserved in the New Mutants.
man. Yes. I didn't even watch that movie.
I watched it. It had moments, but they made it a horror movie, which they actually demonize a person's I mean, they did all the things that you want to just really
Yeah.
quickly. They talked about the X-Men and mutants and all this sort of stuff, but then they also took probably the most likable character in the movie and made her and basically, bastardized and demonized her powers where you're like, what? Why is what? But Magic or Ileana is in that. Not to mention if they give us her, then what am I near and dear to my heart is also another B lister would be Colossus.
Mhm.
So I think that would be really good. And of course, got to give us Lockheed because
Mhm.
we need more dragons.
No,
We
of
need more
course, of
dragons.
course.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Now, after that, now this character has already been in the big screen a few times by one Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider. And if rumors are correct, n- uh, the Daryl Norman Reedus is going to
Oh,
be
that would be perfect.
the Marvel MCU's Ghost Rider. I don't know if that's I heard it on a bunch of people talking about it. So I think he said something about that he's met with Marvel. Maybe it's just speculation or whatever, but
Well, it would
I
make
am all
sense because
for it.
he's a major motorcycle
Mhm.
enthusiast. He can actually ride, which that doesn't have to be the totality of it. But I mean, he really fits that everything you will want regarding that would
Mhm.
be. I think he is a natural fit for that. And I'm just checked as you mentioned that I looked to see kind of what that's looking at, and there are multiple like legitimate, not just fan casting, but straight up industry sites that he has expressed a lot of interest in doing it, and that there are in the most recent article I'm seeing on this was dated about 8 months ago that there is a lot of talks with that. The only thing that might be in the way of this is he's obviously spent a lot of time with his Walking Dead spinoff
Yeah.
show, which that is really good.
I
If
haven't
you've not
watched it.
watched it, it is real. It's 3 or 4 episodes, and it takes a very different take on the Walkers and just kind of the next step of what that series would be. And he's I mean, come on now, he's doing the damn thing. So yeah, so check that out if you can. So I mean, he's still Daryl, but that's definitely, I see no reason as Ghost Rider is great. That might be the best of our two lists. I think that might be the best casting right there. So what else you got,
Nice.
sir?
Well, after that, I do have Luke Cage.
Sir.
Luke Cage, but here's what I want. I want a Luke Cage who's married to Jessica Jones and already has a daughter.
Okay, so jumping ahead a bit. Okay.
I want to go up a little bit. No, I can't think of his name who played him in the Netflix shows, but I want Terry Crews, man. I want Terry Crews as an older Luke Cage. Done did the Heroes for Hire. They're raising the next Captain America.
Sure.
I mean, I think that'd be a really cool story. It could be a show, it could be a movie, probably a show, but man, so good.
And Michael Collier, I think, is the person whose name you're looking
Yes.
for. Yep.
Yes. I mean, have you seen that movie with Gerard Butler and him in it? I can't think of it right now. But
it's not striking me, no.
Yeah, anyway. So after that.
And he also steals Evil. That show, he really does fantastic in Evil.
I missed that. Is that done?
I believe it is done.
Okay. So like season 3 was a little bit weird, but yeah.
Yeah, I think they're kind of grasping straws there a little bit, but again, as a whole, he did a really good job.
Yep. And then my number one on the Marvel side. Do you want to take a guess?
From Marvel?
Yeah, I would take a guess. My number one Marvel.
I don't know. I bet you I know number one for DC. But give me Marvel. Who is
Daredevil?
Of course. See, and I go back and forth. See, when I was thinking, and I get a lot of places think Daredevil as a B list. Daredevil to me was always higher up just because I really like Daredevil. And by the way, again, Daredevil, as always, give us the yellow suit. Don't give us. I mean, the dark red was not bad, but it's something about the way the yellow and red just because you don't see that a lot. Yeah, I really like that. So
we're getting it. So I mean, like I probably shouldn't have put this one on here, but I'm a huge Daredevil fan.
Yes.
So Charlie Cox is such a good Daredevil. We're getting the Born Again show pretty soon. I mean, I think we have Loki, and then Echo comes out in a couple of months.
Yep.
I mean, I think it's by the end of the year, and I think early 2024 we're getting Daredevil,
which would be fantastic.
Yeah,
and we were gonna watch and prevent the hell out of that one because that's one I think everybody's waiting on. So yes, sir.
So now I do have to say, we only matched one person in DC.
Really? Okay.
One. Do you want to guess who that is?
I'm guessing Dr. Fate.
You are absolutely correct. So
got you, partner. I got you.
Yeah, so he's not my number 5. My number 5 is one Booster Gold.
I thought Booster would be top of the list, actually, so we got Booster. All right.
Booster Gold would be my number 5 pick. And man, I mean, there's so many different actors that can pull him off. I mean, I think that oh gosh, Jurassic Park. Oh, we have a cameo. Okay, Leia.
Why is this on the ground, Daddy?
I guess there's something on the ground. Daddy, okay. Yeah. So so many good actors could pull off Booster Gold. You gotta have the comedic chops though.
Yeah, I really like when we went and saw Top Gun Maverick, Glenn Powell, who played Hangman.
With Mommy.
Okay.
And can I have another one of your cinnamon rolls?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, Glenn Powell would be great. Gosh, who was I just thinking of?
He's cocky, he's funny. I mean, that's basically Booster Gold right there.
Yeah. So now I can't think of his name. I got to look it up because I think I was watching the show. Oh man, I can't even think of the show. So it's about the kind of like a World of Warcraft type game, and it, oh gosh, it's on Apple TV. Oh my God, Rob, what's his name? Man, I am horrible today.
It's okay. It's all right.
Let's see here. Rob McNary Rob McEnany. from
Okay.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yes.
Man, this dude is so freaking funny. He would make such a great Booster Gold.
I mean, and again, as always,
And he's
if you
buff too.
got Booster, you gotta have Skeets, and you gotta
Yes.
bring Lil Jon and the East Side Boys to and
Yes.
Yin Yang just to give us Skate, Skate,
Yes.
Skate. Yes, sir.
All right. My number 4 is also known as the smartest man in all of DC Comics. Brian, who would that be?
Oh, come on now, Mr. Terrific.
That is correct, man. I
I
think
almost went Mr. Terrific, but I talk about Mr. Terrific so much. I go, I'm gonna let it roll. But yes, Mr. Terrific would be great.
yes. Man, he is such a good character. He's part of the Bat family
Yep.
in most stuff. I mean, like, yeah, we could Bat family him. I think he is more
He and
closer
Wildcat
to
are both parts of the Bat family. That ties the JSA to the
yeah.
JLA with those two. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Wildcat would have been a good one for the list too. But yeah, man, he's so smart. He's a huge inventor. He's a different kind of superhero, not, a little bit different than everybody else.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about him too. I mean, when Batman has a question, he goes to Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I mean,
absolutely.
dude, such a underused character.
Absolutely.
And the fact that there isn't a Mr. Terrific movie coming out or TV show or something like that.
Right. Right.
And the fact that he didn't get one with the CW when he was when he was a pretty prominent character, kind of blows my mind. I thought that he was going to go to Legends of Tomorrow for a while.
Yeah, there's definitely been opportunities for him out there. So again, DC, James Gunn, if you're listening, and we know you are, give us Mr. Terrific.
Yes. All right, my number 2, you already hit that one on the park. Dr. Fate. Such a freaking awesome character. And Pierce Brosnan, man, like he owns it.
No one can play that character.
No.
So, but the character was so great. And again, spoiler alerts, if there is a Black Adam sequel, if they follow the current storyline, he will not be in it.
No.
I do think there's space because we see, and I think you and I talked about this earlier, if you watch Sandman, the character who was born in Sandman actually becomes Dr. Fate in canon. So that you could tie in Sandman and something would do with the JSA. But ultimately, I think we both would love to see Pierce Brosnan reprising that role as Kent, and I think giving us Dr. Fate. Because Dr. Fate's similar to Power Girl. There's some characters who their backgrounds are so convoluted, you almost don't want to touch them.
Yeah.
And Dr. Fate is one of them. But the way that he handled Kent Nelson with that and really simplified it, he has a helmet, it's haunted, he puts it on, he becomes this almost godlike creature, but knows that he's doomed in the end. That was he did it. He did it well.
Yeah,
and was really funny. I mean, go back and watch Black Adam. He's really got some great one-liners there.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I love that. So I'm glad we matched on him. So give me your number 1, sir. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep. Yeah, and you know what? In Black Adam, it's a pretty good movie.
It is.
It's not a horrible movie, man.
No.
I mean, yes, they did some things wrong. I get it. I wish they had the Shazam cameo instead of Superman.
Yeah.
Just because of how intertwined Black Adam and Shazam are. But you know what? That's a story.
But they also are trying to really build Black Adam. And again, who knows how they're gonna do it. But from that movie, they were trying to build Black Adam as an anti-hero, not a villain.
Right.
And having him basically pick on a kid, which is what the Black Adam, Captain Marvel, Shazam dynamic is, probably goes away. But again, they should have had something, because you can't have, they have the same magical word, they have the same insignia, all these things. Why on earth would you not at least have something like even to show Billy Batson, not forgetting Captain Marvel, they're showing Billy Batson watching, because with Kondak and all this thing, this was something that was supposed to have made the international news. Why not just have Billy and the Marvel family in their normal form at home watching the news, seeing again the lightning symbol and just almost going like, just as a kid does not have any words. You don't even have to have him say
Yeah.
anything. Just do that, and then you can have all the other stuff be at a future project. I agree with you. They should have done that. They gave us Superman, and let's be real. Black Adam is not going to be impressed by Superman. That's just
No.
not happening.
No.
Yeah.
All right, my number 2, Zatanna. Man,
Sir.
why is there not a
Sir.
Zatanna?
Sir.
I mean, the costume, the superpowers, the
I'm
magic,
you
the
had
ties
me
to
at
the Justice
costume.
League
You had me at
Dark.
costume. You had me
I
at
mean,
costume,
the
sir.
top hat, the
That's not the costume we're talking about, sir.
I know where I know.
I don't give a damn if the top hat makes the movie or not. Yeah.
Right. We
Yeah,
should
yeah.
pull something out of that top hat. Mhm.
And there he goes. Supposed to use John. It's almost like if he was to go to his parents' bedroom and slowly pull that
And then
box out.
the Deb Murr.
So with that, who are you casting? You have an idea who you cast as Zatanna?
Pretty much anybody. Man, Jenna Ortega would be probably
Really
at the top
good.
of my
Yes,
list.
she'd be really good. She'd be really good.
Man, yeah, I think that's
Yeah, and probably just because I've been
yeah.
watching Vampire Diaries. My head wouldn't need a double, but again, it's probably because I've been watching Vampire Diaries, or trying to watch Vampire Diaries without too many brain cells dying. I was like, really? Wait, because again, here. By the way, for those of you, let's assume vampires are real. Here's a sign that someone might be a vampire. You're going to high school, and a new kid shows up, and while everyone is between 16 and 18, this dude is 30 years old. No one seems thrown off by that. And before he speaks, he has to brood and really think about just anything. Hey, good morning. Good morning. What would you like for lunch? Tater tots. What are you studying? Algebra. Dude, you're a flipping vampire.
Yeah. Freaking sparkles.
Yeah, it sparkles, or has like a weird ring, or hey, they always live at the manor just outside of town.
Mhm.
Like, come on, like for real. Yeah. And of course they only are interested in the one girl who is not interested in them.
Yeah.
Who also just had a recent tragedy, like she broke with her boyfriend, her parents died, she just moved. So here's a sign, folks. If anyone wants to be a vampire hunter, here's your catnip. You found an attractive, 17-year-old. By the way, think about it. These vampires are at least 200 years old, so they're creepy. So you found an attractive 17-year-old that's recently off of some type of trauma. Put her in a small town where there's a crickety manor, but it's strangely still kept right outside of town, and just wait a minute. Yeah, and the name's always going to be Sebastian, Marcus. Yeah,
Edward.
Hey, Ed. No, it is
Edward.
Yeah, whatever. You're a flipping vampire. All right. Somebody call Blade. All right. Okay. I'm sorry.
Right?
I took us on a tangent there.
That's
all right,
good.
Sir. Next on your list.
Well, Green Arrow. I mean, like, you knew it. Everybody.
You've already got
knew
Stephen Amell. What's there to do different with Green Arrow? You got it.
I think there is. Okay. I think there is. I think you can get the more quippy. I think you could get the because Stephen Amell's Green Arrow was Batman. It was Batman, but they couldn't use Batman.
It is Batman.
I mean, that is 100% accurate.
Who are you? Green Arrow. Yeah, it's Batman. It's Batman.
You build the city.
Yes.
And okay, guys. And by the way, Stephen Amell, man, like you are Green Arrow. You're awesome. You're amazing.
Right.
I haven't got a chance to watch Heels yet, and it just got canceled, so I do need to get on that.
Did it? Darn.
Yep.
I've not saw season 2. I saw season 1. He was really good in season 1.
Yeah.
And he's a legit wrestling fan. He's had a couple matches, but yeah. All right.
Yeah, and I guess there's talk he might end up in a AEW. So
I can see it.
So could I.
Yep.
Although he's really good friends with Cody Rhodes, so who knows what'll happen.
But
But
Cody's still good with that crew over there for the most part. It sounds like it. But yeah.
yeah,
So before we jump to our nerd on our wrestling nerddom, how do you see Green Arrow washing up? It's not going to be Stephen Amell. Where are you taking this?
I want Austin Butler. I'm still on that train. I
Sure.
want Austin
Sure.
Butler. I want a younger one. I want in part Green Arrow when everything happens and he goes to the island and everything like that. I want him to be part of I want I want Batman to inspire Green Arrow, where he's stuck and he's got to try to figure out and make this this new persona and everything. And he takes the archery from whatever just go full go full
Sure.
go. I'm inspired by Robin Hood and Batman, and
Love
that's
it.
it. And that
Love it.
and then he's gonna go to Star City. He's gonna do his own thing. He's gonna they can do it where Justice League comes, and he's like, no, I'm a street level hero. I don't want to do any of that because he doesn't do hard traveling heroes where you get a team up with the Flash.
Sure.
You can team
Sure.
up
Sure.
with
Sure.
Green Lantern. I
Which is
mean,
really what you want. Which is really what
that's
you want.
exactly what I want.
Now, here's
Really.
the only deal. They do give us Austin Butler. At some point, he's got to be walking through like a casino with Elvis music that's playing in the background.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they got to give
Absolutely.
us at least a little tongue in cheek there. And if you don't know that, Google Austin Butler. It'll make sense. All right.
Yeah, well, that's my top five. I
Hey,
didn't go do
I
any
dig it.
villains, but
I dig it. I dig it. We should probably jump into. We could maybe do villains in a couple of weeks. Some of our favorite lesser known villains. When we look at that, because again, I personally have always been a fan of Captain Cold. I would love to see that.
man,
And Modoc. Okay. Yeah. Quantum Mania. You almost got him right. You got close. You got close, but
I liked Modoc in Quantum Mania, but yeah, you're right.
he
It
got a little
wasn't.
silly at the end. I want a
Yeah,
little more, because and also part of me goes, I just love Patton Oswalt so much as
I
Modoc.
know.
That's how
Did
Modoc
you
will
like the
sound.
show?
The show, no. Him,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that's what I thought too, man. Like I think I made it like 2 episodes of the show.
yeah,
I know what they were going for, but
right,
really,
right,
man,
right.
okay.
All right,
Yeah.
and hopefully we'll see. Honestly, I can see us getting maybe a little Modoc on one of the shows. All right. So before we wrap it up today, who is going to be your better human of the week? You got somebody for me?
Yes, my wife. She made chili yesterday and it was amazing. She is studying right now for her CPA. She's going to get ready to take
Oh, nice.
one of her exams in the near future. And so my better than us human for the week is my lovely wife. I love you, Kaylee, and you're not going to listen to this.
But you know what? You still did a shout out for the love. And then my bedless human of the week, not someone as close as your lovely wife, but I'm going to give it to you again, Jose M. Hernandez. I really want to encourage everyone that if you've not watched A Million Miles Away, again, it's streaming free on Prime. It is a great story of really the resiliency that a person has, and his journey from literally working in the fields, picking fruit, to being on the space shuttle, and all the journey that he had to really break a lot of people's expectations and prejudices when it comes to that. And again, this shows actually Michael Pena, who actually does bring some humor into
Mm,
the role, but also is a really good dramatic actor. So we'll see some run from him. I really suggest, if you just want a movie you can watch with literally your entire family, that is a true story that just shows you really just it's not where you start, it's where you finish. Check out A
mhm.
Million Miles Away. So again, Jose Him Hernandez, just very, very inspiring story. So I really suggest that. So he is my better than us human of the week.
Awesome. And with that being said, all right, Brian, where can we get a hold of you?
You can find me on the Book of Faces. I've not been as active as I usually am, but I will work on that. It is Brian Stephen Dennis at the Book of Faces. Feel free to give me a like, a follow. I try and keep it funny and occasionally weird.
Awesome. Well, you can tweet at me at Fandemic3 or X me or whatever you want to call it. Or you can message me on Facebook at The Fandemic. I'm also active on TikTok at The Fandemic1. Hear my reviews and so much more. If you want to support the show, there are several ways to do so. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/thefandemic. If you do, Brian and I will toast your roast on the next episode. You can go to Patreon at patreon.com/PVOTN Fandemic. Become an episode assistant, an episode producer, a prevenge producer like Stacy, or yes, you could be part of the Council of Nerds, starting at around $5 a month. You can PayPal or Venmo me at Bradley Buchanan. I won't say no. Or if you want, just share the show with someone you want
By
to
the way, that was Bradley's hashtag when he was in his dating life. Won't say no.
right? And then I got lucky. Someone didn't say no.
Fair. You outkicked your coverage, sir, but that's okay. That's okay.
All right, you can you just share the show with someone you'll make a little more awesome, and don't forget to leave a 5-star review. Brian, we have hit max levels of awesome for the week. Let's end it like we do it every week on a positive note. What's your words of wisdom?
As always, we have buried the needle this week, so thank you for joining us. What is the best part of our week? Hopefully one of the best parts of yours. Please remember, if you go through this crazy, crazy world, that Goonies never say die, no retreat, no surrender.
Friendship is like peeing on yourself. Everyone can see it, but only you get the warm feeling that it brings. Remember, if cauliflower can become pizza, then you, my friend, can do anything you want. If you think about it, every time you feel stupid, you just got a little smarter. And lastly, remember, squirrels' cheeks are also their nutsacks. Remember, don't let today end in a why didn't I? Bye-bye. Bye-bye.